Old Glory DC finishing the 2021 season with a 6-9-1 draw record, 39 points. A very young team that is now a year older, a year more experienced, a year together. So there's going to be a lot more cohesiveness this year. Again, on paper, just like the Toronto Arrows, not a lot has been added to them. So we'll see how much they've improved with what they have. Compared to some of the other teams in the Eastern Conference that have definitely rebuilt themselves to be a little bit better. But a lot of firepower coming back for the Old Glory. Let's start with Jamison Fenana Schultz coming back, the 25-year-old flanker, number 8. Born in Australia, is a capped member of the American men's national rugby team. He also has a lot of international experience, played for the Samoans under-20 squad, played in Japan for a couple years for the Red Hurricanes. Very talented player, very hard-hitting, aggressive flanker, number 8. Danny Tusitala coming back, 30-year-old scrum half, scored 5 tries for Old Glory DC. New Zealand player, famous for playing for the Samoan Rugby Sevens team, so you know he's very fast, very pivotal part of the offensive power of Old Glory DC. Also, Renata Roberts Tanana is coming back. That's a mouthful, but Renata Roberts Tanana is a super talented, fun player to watch. Winger, New Zealand-born son of Carl Tanana, very famous New Zealand Rugby Sevens player, as well as a very talented commentator. If you ever watch the Rugby Sevens events, you'll more than likely hear his voice. Renata is no different than his dad. Scored a lot of tries for DC United, scored 5 of them for them. Probably will score some more because, again, just a very fast player once he has the ball in his hand. And, of course, Threaten Palamo is coming back for DC United, the 33-year-old center, co-captain of the team, scored 4 tries for DC United. A lot of veteran experience there. And speaking of veterans, Apisai Nakitani is coming back, the 3rd year of his contract, 36-year-old Fijian lock. He was part of the 2019 Seattle Seawolves championship team, was actually voted as the MVP of that championship series. So again, a lot of experience coming back with Apisai. They also, Old Glory DC announced the return of Matthew Gordon, the 25-year-old back rower. He can either be a flanker or a lock. He was the 23rd overall pick in the 2021 college draft, but he didn't play in the 2021 season, so he will finally be making his debut in 2022. From Scotland, went to the University of Mary Washington and led his rugby team to a national championship in 2018. He was also named the defensive player of that year. Matthew Gordon is also a first-team collegiate All-American, so a very highly touted player, one to watch out for Old Glory DC. Now, a big loss for DC is going to be Mmo Mason, the Scottish flanker. He was the highest point scorer for DC United, as well as one of the highest point scorer in all of MLR with 108 points last season. Obviously, with him not being on the team, there's going to be a little bit of loss of points scored for DC United, Old Glory DC. It's, again, interesting on paper. Just like Toronto, not a lot of changes, relying a lot on what they have, which again is a very talented team. But when you compare Old Glory to a lot of the other teams in the Eastern Conference, the Rugby Atlantas, the Rugby United New Yorks, who have really made that next step to upgrade or boost their teams, I don't know if Old Glory will have enough to overcome those teams. Just like Toronto, though, I feel they will be dangerous, they will be competitive, and they'll give any team a run for their money, but I don't know if that will be enough coming into 2022.